Okay, let's unpack this. The universe is full of surprises, right?
Always.
And sometimes those surprises land right on our doorstep, or perhaps, well, more appropriately in this case, right inside a big blue box.
Nicely put.
We are diving deep into some major news from the Hooniverse, specifically surrounding the recent series finale of Doctor Who.
It's been buzzing online.
Absolutely. We've pulled together articles and statements covering these pretty dramatic events, and our mission really is simple: to figure out what exactly happened, who was involved according to the sources, and, what this completely unexpected return might mean for the future of this iconic show.
Sounds good.
We'll be taking turns sort of exploring each point fully as we go.
Okay, jumping right in then. The core event revealed in the sources is that Ncuti Gatwa, who we've known as the 15th Doctor, well, he made his exit in the series finale, the episode called The Reality War.
Right.
And this wasn't just a simple departure, it was a surprise regeneration. But the most unexpected element really was who he regenerated into none other than Billie Piper.
Which is huge.
Exactly. And the credit sequence at the end, it was particularly telling. It listed both Ncuti Gatwa and Jodie Whittaker. She made a guest appearance as the 13th Doctor, as the Doctor, and then very pointedly added, and introducing Billie Piper.
Introducing.
Yeah. And Ncuti Gatwa himself shared his feelings about leaving. He said the journey was unforgettable and the role would be part of him forever. He acknowledged it was difficult, handing back the sonic screwdriver, even though he knew the time would come. His tenure was, well, relatively short, 18 months across 2 series. That's the shortest since Christopher Eccleston back when the show was revived in 2005.
That's a key point.
And the showrunner, Russell T Davies, also offered praise for Gatwa, calling him a great adventure and saying he's shooting off to stratospheric new heights. So, positive words there.
And that brings us perfectly to the other half of this seismic event.
Right, yeah.
Billie Piper's return. Now, for many of you listening, her face is incredibly familiar, but her previous role, of course, was as the companion, Rose Tyler, really popular.
Hugely popular.
The sources remind us she was just a key figure in the show's modern era, appearing alongside both Christopher Eccleston's 9th Doctor and David Tennant's 10th Doctor. She starred in 2 full series, back in 2005 and 2006, and was in, 35 episodes total through 2013.
It sounds about right.
What makes her return so mysterious this time is that statements from the BBC and Russell T Davies, and even Piper herself, are explicitly keeping her new role a secret. They've really emphasized that who, how, why, and when she is back is something fans will just have to wait and see.
Total lockdown on info.
Exactly. And Russell T Davies made a particularly significant comment, didn't he? He said, Piper once changed the whole of television back in 2005, and now she's done it again. Big claim.
That is a very big claim.
And if she is indeed confirmed as the new Doctor, the sources point out she'd be the 3rd woman to play the lead role. You had Jodie Whittaker first, then Jo Martin as the fugitive Doctor. It's notable, too, because Piper herself had previously expressed doubt about playing the role back in 2017, I think it was.
Right, I remember that. So this whole event, it's happening within a wider context for the show itself, as the sources outline. Doctor Who has this incredibly long history, originally running 1963 to 89 before Russell T Davies famously revived it in 2005.
A landmark moment for TV.
Definitely. And since 2023, the show's entered a new phase. It's co-produced by Bad Wolf and BBC Studios, and crucially, distributed internationally by Disney+. Now, this partnership has provided a significantly enhanced budget. We're talking moving past that old reputation for, wobbly sets and primitive VFX, aiming for a bigger, wider international audience.
You can see the money on screen now.
You really can. However, this current era has also faced, challenges regarding audience reception. The sources note historically low ratings for the series. For instance, one source reported the most watched episode this year had about 3.75 million UK viewers in its first 7 days, including iPlayer. And the show's also found itself sort of drawn into these online culture wars discussions, particularly around diversity, with the casting of the first woman and first Black lead actors. The sources do include perspectives from the cast and crew pushing back against this narrative. Varada Sethu, who plays Belinda, is quoted saying that woke just means inclusive, progressive, and that you care about people. And she adds that she sees this as core to Doctor Who's values: kindness, love, doing the right thing.
That's a strong statement.
It is. And looking ahead, there's also mention of an upcoming spin-off series, The War Between the Land and the Sea, expected later in 2025. It features actors like Russell Tovey, Gugu Mbatha-Raw, and Gemma Redgrave. So more Hooniverse content is coming.
Okay, so putting it all together then, based on these sources, what are the potential implications of this surprise finale? Especially when you factor in that broader context we've just discussed.
Well,
one key takeaway seems to be that Piper's return, especially if she is the new Doctor, brings back a face that's deeply connected to that really successful 2005 revival era. And this is happening right when the show is navigating things like lower ratings and intense online discussion.
right. The timing is interesting.
This move could be interpreted, based on the sources, as maybe a strategic attempt, leveraging nostalgia while also making a pretty bold statement about the Doctor's evolving identity, especially now with the bigger Disney Plus budget aiming for that global audience.
It's a mix of old and new, potentially.
Exactly. There's also uncertainty, isn't there, surrounding the timing of the next series.
Yeah.
From what the sources indicate about potential renewal discussions, production would need to start fairly soon for 2026 return. And it seems right now a new series, or even a special starring Billie Piper before 2027, looks unlikely, according to reports.
So a bit of a wait, perhaps.
Perhaps. This regeneration moment, happening amidst all this talk around ratings, diversity, the Disney Plus budget,
Right.
it feels significant in how the show is trying to navigate its identity, its legacy, and its relationship with its audience in today's media landscape.
Yeah, absolutely. So to kind of wrap this deep dive up, we've looked at the surprise regeneration of Nick Nkuchigatwa into Billie Piper, a move shrouded in, well, explicit mystery regarding Piper's exact role, according to everyone involved. And we've also touched on the show's current context.
Yeah.
That enhanced budget, recent ratings challenges, the ongoing public discussion around diversity and inclusion. So given the show's unique history of regeneration, which lets it constantly change and reinvent itself with new faces, and now Piper's return, bringing back this beloved face from a very specific, very successful era. What does this particular transformation tell you, the listener, about how Doctor Who is trying to balance maybe radical reinvention with appealing nostalgia? And how might the unknown who, how, why, and when of her return fundamentally redefine the very nature of the Doctor we thought we knew? Something to think about.